What's going on, everybody? Brandon Schaefer here. Thank you for joining me. So check it out. This is the island of Lanai that I'm painting. I'm on Maui, or I was on Maui when I did this painting. And this was a rare occurrence. This was a rare cloudy morning. You know, you're in Hawaii, and it's usually not very cloudy for the most part, at least while I was there. But what was also very rare is while I painted this island, first thing in the morning, Lanai, there was no clouds over this island. As I was painting it, by the time I got set up and I was ready to paint, there were some clouds, as you guys saw in the video. But when I first got there were no clouds over this island, and that was super rare, super duper rare. Every day I wake up, look at this island, there's always clouds over it, over the top of it. So today I was like, okay, this is perfect. It's an interesting color harmony. It's not something that, you know, if I painted this and I showed it to someone, they wouldn't automatically think, oh yeah, Hawaii. You know, like a cloudy, gloomy looking, you know, it's not like sad, but like, you know, just this gloomy looking color scheme, you wouldn't necessarily think, oh yeah, that's Hawaii. So I thought it would be cool to capture that in my sketchbook, because I'm not here to just capture all the sunny days or the happy moments or, you know, the good paintings. I'm here to capture everything honestly, truthfully, authentically. And this was a really cool addition to the sketchbook, I think, because I painted this island the other day, and this was kind of and it was sunny that day and there was clouds over it. And this was my chance to try it again, paint it again, draw it a little bit better, paint more of the island in the painting, in the sketchbook. And it's a completely different color, whole different color scheme, color harmony, and it was just beautiful. So this is my chance to capture it. That's what I'm doing here. And I'm being careful here painting in this water. Being careful not to paint the sailboats there. I want to keep those white for the most part. I'm trying to lighten up the water there, take some of the pigment out. And look at this color harmony so far. It's very beautiful. These grays, you know, this greenish gray of the water, the real purple, grayish purple of that building. Jesus, what am I saying? Of that island. It was really incredible for me to paint and capture this. So really hope you enjoy this one. It's a lot of fun. And I'm leaving a little bit of white in the water there for some waves rolling in. I'm trying to capture it all in this. We got a nice gray sky. We got an island. We got some sailboats. We got some waves. We got it all. This is it. So now I'm bringing out the more smaller detail brush here now, and really trying to paint these waves accurately. So what I would do is I would watch these waves coming in and crashing over, and I would observe, like, what is happening with this wave. Okay, there's a lighter part of it, there's a light part of it, and then where the wave is kind of curling, it gets dark right there. It's very dark, and you know, there's some dark in front of it, on top of it, defining this wave. So for this painting, I was really trying to examine the, I don't know, like, structure of these waves. Like, what's the value structure? How do waves work? You know, what's happening with the color and the value of these waves? Like, you know, just trying to observe, I guess. Because I think as an artist, it's really important that, like, we observe, like, nature and reality. Like if we want to paint realistically, we need to observe it and understand what's going on. I mean, you don't have to be a scientist about it, but just kind of understand what's happening. Like, okay, there's some light waves there, and then where it's kind of curling, it gets darker as it goes out. And if you're able to understand that and observe that, then you can paint that. In theory, you can paint it, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So And so far, I think, they look like pretty decent waves. They're not too bad. It's definitely a different color for the water. There were times, there were not many days at all where I saw the water be this color. Usually it was a very dark, rich ultramarine blue. And on this day and this morning, at least, it's this cool greenish gray. And it was just really beautiful. Really beautiful in its own way. And I really, it might seem like I'm making these waves a little too dark, but when I compared it to the island and the rest of the scene, these waves were pretty dark. And now I'm going back over this island, getting it a little bit cooler. So I'm toning down the value a bit, bringing it down, and also making it cooler. And here's the fun part, painting these boats. It's always fun painting these little boats because, I didn't have to be so detailed about it. It's just, it's very freeing to paint something that looks detailed like this. And it's really not. It's just a lot of fun. And the cool thing is, like, even though it's not detailed at all, like, anybody could look at it and tell what it is. And that's really the fun part about it, I think, for me, like painting these little sailboats, is like, it only takes a few strokes, and mostly I think everybody would just understand what it is. Like right away we notice, like, okay, that's some kind of sailboat out there on the water. And yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to be able to observe that and see that and paint it. I really encourage you guys, like, if you like these paintings that I do, and like you like watching these videos, to start painting around your town, like anything that you experience that you find joy in observing. If there's some building that has like a really cool color that you enjoy, or like there's some building that you really love, or a tree at a certain time of the year, I mean, go out there with a sketchbook and try to capture it. Like, you don't have to film it like I do or do anything like that, but just go out there with some paint, try to paint it. And it's cool because you don't know how long you're going to live where you're living right now in your town, or maybe you do. Maybe you're going to live there the rest of your life, but it's just a great memory to look back on this. I can open this sketchbook, I can turn to this painting in that sketchbook, and I instantly remember this day. I remember being there. I remember what it felt like. It was a little bit cooler that morning. It's just, you remember these small details that you normally wouldn't remember when you paint something. You're hypersensitive. You're hyper aware to everything around you. It's just a really beautiful feeling. So, all right, adding in some small details here, and this painting's pretty much done. Almost. I start adding in a little bit of details here of kind of what's going on in this island. There's all these ridges and crevices and valleys from all this water over hundreds and thousands of years. And I end up softening that down a little bit. Here we go. I don't want it to be too distracting, but I just want a little bit of detail back there. But anyway, there's the finished painting, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It's definitely a different painting for Hawaii, that's for sure. Really cool to capture. Stay tuned for the next episode. Take care of yourself. Peace, my friends.